time in my whole life I've ever met an adversary that fed itself. Art got boring, music got bored.
I've been skateboarding for about 10 years now.
8 years now.
I have been skateboarding for 9 years.
So I started skating like maybe like 14 years ago.
I got my first skateboard when I was 7, my 7th birthday. I've been skating since 2007, my freshman year of high school, so 10 years right now. I got into skateboarding because I was wicked into the Tony Hawk games.
What got me interested in skateboarding is my boy Haggard and my boy Simone.
Things that got me into skateboarding, I grew up just kind of being a little redneck kid, ripping around on bikes. Kind of anything that went fast was fun. And skateboarding was just a little bit different.
The whole scene behind it, I mean, growing up you look at magazines and everything, you see, local dudes and everything, and it's like, wow, I want to be part of something like that, something, monumental.
Soccer, went to do soccer and, didn't make the team, whatever, But then skateboarding, like, it didn't really involve, oh, you have to be good at it. No, it was just enjoyment, It was a great hobby to enjoy with my friends, and I met a lot of people. It was pretty cool.
With a skateboard, it's just gonna sit there until you get on it. And if you don't take it seriously, and if you don't develop a way of understanding it that coincides with it being a toy, being a little wooden toy, then you're just not gonna get any better. And in my personal life, I like to be as good as I can be at everything I do. What the fuck is the point if you don't do that? But you can't lie. You can't lie to it. You can't. And you get out there and you feel like a goof. You should have been thinking about it more. You should have spent more time thinking about what you wanted to do when you got there, or whatever. So I guess it's like getting out there and doing it keeps me motivated, because you go out and you realize, like, oh shit, I can barely kickflip anymore. Like, could I ever? Was that ever something I could do? What keeps me motivating in skateboarding, which is like as I found as I'm getting older is kind of a hard thing to do, is like not looking so much outside of the circle I exist in, but taking note of what the people around me are doing and what they're trying to do to better themselves, because that makes me feel like I should be doing the same thing. Maybe if you asked me this question when I was in high school, I would have said, yeah, fuck it, I like Mark Gonzalez or like, I don't know, Louis Barletta or something, but right now it's my friends. My friends keep me motivated. When I land a trick, it's like waking up every single day and your mom comes in the room and she's like, we're going to Disney World, and then you actually go. Every day you go to Disney World. It's like the best, the most gratifying thing in the entire world. There's nothing that feels better than landing a trick that you've been trying on your skateboard that you've thought about. Like, landing a trick that you've thought about in your mind and you can see yourself doing it, and then taking that to the street and being able to do it. It just, I don't know, it fulfills you. It fulfills you, it fulfills you like work. That's what it is. It's like work, you're working. So you work a long day and you come home and you can sit down and relax because you did that for yourself. It's like, that's my trick, I just did that. I'm gonna chill.
Yeah, the emotion I get from landing a trick is like opening your first like N64 as a kid on Christmas. It's just like such joy and just so happy and so relieved that, like, you know, that moment has come and you finally accomplished something that you worked so hard at doing, you know.
Get fucking hyped whenever I land any trick. It could be a fucking ollie over like a fucking 2-inch gap, dude. I'm so hyped, dude. Like anything at all, like.
When I land a trick skateboarding, it is an unfathomable feeling. I can't liken it to anything else, and I think it's because of all of that mental prep. So you spend all of that time thinking like, okay, I can get this, I can roll away, I can feel that feeling. And it's such a fleeting feeling. Man, if you look at your career of skateboarding, you've landed so fewer times than you've fallen and gotten hurt. It's crazy. It's such a small number, but you know that once you taste that shit that first time, you're like, I gotta get more of that. So it's like this satisfaction, I guess. It's this full encompassing satisfaction, and just rolling away from something too. That shit's crazy. That's crazy. When you're like a little kid and you see someone rolling around on a skateboard, you're like, how could they possibly like get up a curb or whatever? So when you like grind something or you like gap down something and you're just rolling away again, there's like this huge obstacle in the way and you've overcome that. That's crazy. It's crazy. Skateboarding taught me how to fall really good. Skateboarding's extended into my personal life where if I ever trip, I can immediately save myself and make it look like I meant to do it. Also, skateboarding has taught me, this is wicked cliche, skateboarding has taught me to relish the time that you spend with the people around you, because you're not going to be able to do it all the time. Especially because I'm getting older, I guess. It's also taught me respect. It's instilled a harder work ethic in me. There's like a sense of perfectionism that skateboarding bequeaths unto you that permeates throughout your whole life after you've done it for long enough, because it's just going to be there. I don't know. Skateboarding's taught me a lot. It's done a lot for me as a human being, and I think anybody that skates could say the same thing.
What have I learned about myself? You know, I've learned you gotta be tough, and you know, I definitely have become a tougher person from skateboarding. I've definitely grown a lot mentally and physically from skateboarding. I don't think I would be here today if it wasn't for skateboarding. To be honest, I think I would, you know, be on drugs or something right now if I didn't have skateboarding in my life. So I think that's what, you know, really is motivating.
I've learned a ton about myself through skateboarding. I learned that I gotta chill out. I gotta calm down. You see people throwing their skateboards around, you're like, dude, You know, you ever seen a man build a wall and just like get frustrated and just like hammer and just chuck the hammer across? No, that doesn't make no sense. It's a tool. You're mad at yourself. You hate it because you hate yourself. Don't do that. So that's something I learned. You're only gonna get out of this shit what you put into it. So it's a pretty cathartic experience. It's like a mirror. You know, you cannot lie. You get a little too wonky Pete, you try to go to the park, go skate, not gonna happen. You're not gonna be able to do it. Your brain's not gonna talk to your feet, right? You're toasted. I also learned I don't like biters. I don't like people who specifically go out of their way to like mess with other people, to have other people have a bad time. In the arena of skateboarding, outside of that, that's my shit. But in skateboarding, it makes no sense to me. And yeah, I guess the capacity of seeing everybody as just a person is something that I learned through skateboard. I don't think I would have had that any other way. Because, you know, whatever, we grew up in a nice little park, kind of cool, but everyone would come through and, you know, everyone treated it with a certain amount of respect, back in the day at least, because everyone was a skateboarder. So learning that was pretty cool, that you could just kind of give someone a chance and everything should be cool. As long as they got a board under their feet. If they don't, get out of here. Fuck them.
I would never stop skateboarding. That's out of the question. I'll be an old man still skateboarding.
Fuck no. No way. I could never stop skateboarding. I think there was a time where I slowed down, but I still had a skateboard. I still went to the park. I just got an old man skateboard and complained a lot because my body hurt really bad and I didn't know why. It was because I didn't stretch or like eat food, you know. But no, I don't think I could stop. And every year that I'm like, maybe it's time to slow down more, you know, maybe it's time to not like go out and whatever. I won't even say waste time because you're never really wasting time when you go out and skate, but maybe I should focus on something else this year or whatever. And as soon as springtime hits and it dries up, I'm out there again, so no way.
I would never give up skateboarding for anything in my life. Like, the only thing that's going to stop me is if I lose my legs.
No.
What? No. I would never stop skateboarding. I mean, I've stopped skateboarding. I stopped skateboarding when it's winter, but I'm never going to stop skateboarding. I'll be that 60-year-old dude at the park that pushes Mongo and just gets in everybody's way, but I'm not going to care. No, I don't think anybody that's really about what skateboarding is, and I'm not going to say it's a sport because it's not a sport to me, it's a lifestyle, it's a culture. If you're about doing it, you're not going to stop because you love it. It's like anything else.
I want all of you to know that skateboarding is probably like the coolest thing on this earth, and don't knock someone that you see riding around just because you don't really like understand it, you know? Like, why don't you just sit down and talk to them and understand them? You know, like, we're all good people, but we're all also like pieces of shit. We're like delinquents, you know? It's just us. That's what we do.
Oh man, if the people who actually know what's going on stop, we're screwed. It's, you know, it's gonna be all Monster Energy drinks and kids with hats on and stuff. Like, who the fuck cares about hats, man? When did that happen? Like, what? There's kids that have super expensive shoes that don't know how to push on a skateboard. We gotta keep going. We gotta stick around, man. You can't quit. And if you do say that you quit, you're not gonna quit. You're not gonna quit skateboarding. Heath Kirchard still skates. He had a professional career. He said, "Nah, I'm done." You can't. You cannot.
Anybody that doesn't skateboard should know that skateboarding isn't the thing that the media perceives it to be. It's not about just like energy drinks and like shoes and being a bro. I don't know. It's a culture within itself. There's like a lot of things that people have done within this subculture already that they should be respected for, and I think there's just a certain amount of respect and understanding that the common person should have for skateboarding that I mean, most of the time they don't. It's something that's been around for like 50, 60 plus years at this point. It's a real thing. There's people that live their whole lives doing this. Skateboarders aren't just people out there to like fuck your shit up. We're just having fun for ourselves. I don't know. And when you see somebody skateboarding down the street, don't tell them to do a kickflip, because they're not going to do it. They're not going to do it. Also, there's more than Tony Hawk and Rodney Mullen in skateboarding. So when you're on the street and you see somebody skateboarding, you go, "Yo, Rodney Mullen," that's whack. Wicked dumb. Just look it up. Google it. It's there. We got the internet. 2017. We out here.
People who haven't had a child that's a skateboarder, or a friend, or a significant other, or whatever, that don't have more of a real grasp of what it is. If they don't love someone who goes out and does this all the time, they're not going to understand what it is. They're not going to bother to try to empathize. So anyone outside of that spectrum that just looks at it, we're not going to sue you. That's crazy. We were just talking about this earlier. We're not going to sue you. There's probably no cases of this ever happening. If I'm on your property, it's because I want to ride my wheelie board on your stuff. You have cool stuff. I'm sorry that you don't think it's as cool as I do, but the second you leave, I'm coming back. You know what I mean? Don't call the cops. The cops totally don't want to deal with us, because the only thing that they're going to think is, we build you guys a park, you don't want to be in the park, well, it gets boring, you got to roll around every once in a while. So just think about it like that. It's not a fucking hula hoop. It's not a yo-yo. That's not what that shit is. It's advancing. It's going to continue to advance because people love it. It's an art form more than anything. And you guys give respect to artists all the time. You let them paint stupid-ass murals on their walls, but I roll through and someone's like, "Slow down." Dude, I know what I'm doing. I'm an old guy on a skateboard. Like, I'm not going to hit you or nothing. You know? We are probably all bad people. I will say that, but that's just because of the rules that you guys impose on us all the time. How is it going to be illegal to roll through a parking lot? That makes no sense. You know, you see a little kid on a bike rolling through that parking lot, you wouldn't be like, "I'm calling the cops. I have a baby that's asleep." You know, it's crazy. It's crazy. Give peace a chance.
Oh, fuck. Got him. What the fuck?